Listen close. We rise up from the ashes, digging for the truth, breaking old habits. We marching with the nesters, they laid the foundation, passed down revelation, sparked our motivation. In a world of facades, we peeling back the layers. Truth is the weapon that cuts through all the fakers. Phonets in our chest, reborn from deception. Eyes wide open, no room for misdirection. Every step we take, we honor the connection between past and present, forging our resurrection. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. We cultivate vision, planting seeds of awareness, challenge the narrative, break out of the harness, digging deep for knowledge, unearthing the hidden. Our minds are the soil where the future is written, no longer confined by the scripts they prescribe. We write our own story, let the real one subscribe. One voice becomes many, together we rally. Freedom's not a concept, it's a move and a tally. Case, we break the cage. Thought by thought, we shift the stage. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. Rise up, speak out, watch the new world breathe.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Phoenix, and this is Phoenix Talks, and I'm so glad you are here today. Well, this is where we rise above assumptions, all the rumors, we stay curious, asking questions, and we think with open minds as one nest. Every question matters, every single angle is welcome, and nothing is off limits except for if you are rude in the chat, we will see you out. If you're disruptive, hateful, we're not going to play that game here. So, welcome every single one of you. If this I just described is you, welcome home, because here with Phoenix is where curiosity sparks the fire. And I am so thrilled to be back to you today. There is so much going on. And, I know that a lot of you were challenging me on what I showed you this morning. And it's okay. I totally understand and I can respect your position. But honestly, keep in mind that I also look to find answers for myself with a very open mind. And I respect every single one of you. So welcome in every one of you. Jennifer, thanks for becoming a new member. That means a lot to me. Can't wait for this big bombshell. Well, let's go with fireballs because bombshells are Birdie's expertise. Mine are fireballs. I'm going to drop the heat. Good evening, Phoenix. Amanda B. and Les, the Nestor Pack, back again for another live Phoenix Talk session in the house. You checked in early. I haven't seen Credit Rick. I hope everyone is okay. So, hi, Dina. Welcome in. No talkie before coffee. Welcome back in. Rebecca, welcome in. And Nona Rochelle Fiscus, welcome back in. Donna Rosa Inked Mama, welcome back. Good to see you. Haley, good to see you. And let's see, Lulu Bell in the house. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hydrant in the house. Hydrant has eyes. Nobody's NBA. Love it. Shield Maiden, welcome back. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back. And yes, I will be bringing the fireballs tonight. So let's do this. Okay. I know that everybody loves Speed Round. Speed Round is amazing. So if you are here, hit the thumbs up real quick. I'm going to grab my Speed Round questions because I don't know what I did with them. Let me see if I put them in here. And here we go. This one is ABCD. Ready? I've been on the replay crew. Oh, got it. The replay crew. I got it. So funny. Yep, you're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Okay. If you could instantly solve one mystery in the Idaho Force case, which would you pick? A, DNA, B, timeline gaps, C, who really did this, or D, the real path of the killer. So A, DNA, B, timeline, C, who really did it, D, the real path. That is A, B, C, or D. Nice to have. Love it, Shield. Okay. Drop it like it's hot. Let's see. D, 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 A, D, D, C. I see a lot of C's and I see a lot of D's. I would agree. I would say C because we know where to connect the dots from there. Yeah, I would say C. A lot of people are saying D. Yep, I get it. Off topic, not Idaho 4. If you could be teleported into a movie universe, where are you hoping to land? Kind of like Harry Potter, Marvel, Fast and the Furious, Barbie Land. If you could be teleported into a movie universe, where would you hope to land? A movie universe. I would probably say, let me see. Gosh, that's a hard one. Let me see. I would probably say the Conjuring universe, LOL. Barbie Land, Noah's Ark. I would have to say, gosh, Guardians of the Galaxy. That would be pretty good. Twilight Saga series would be good. Alice in Wonderland would be excellent too. Star Wars. There we go. 1977 is when I saw the first Star Wars. Disney animation. Whoop, whoop. Okay, here's a really good one. If your ex, Vampire Diaries, I knew you would say that, Brian. Grease would be a good one too. Yeah, that would be a really good one. Okay, if your ex had to describe you in one word on live TV, what word are they going to choose? South Pacific, that would be a good one too. Hawaii 5-0. If your ex had to describe you in one word on live TV, what word are they choosing? And do you agree? Outspoken. I type mine. Stubborn. Loving. Oh, that's a good one. If your ex had to describe you in one word, would you agree? Would you agree? Good evening. She would call me an asshole and I'd have to absolutely agree. I put my answer up there. He'd probably call me snooty, and I would agree. Beautiful, just wishful. He's not able to talk. His tongue has been cut off. Lulu Bell, that's hilarious. Okay, here's the last one. If you had to delete one forever, which one would it be? Texting, TikTok, late night snacks, or talking to your situationship? Choose wisely. Be honest. Be honest. Let's see. Demanding Latina. Okay, mine is not an X. 55 years. Okay, gotcha. Hello, Nesters. Hey, okie dokie, Lisa. Good evening. Welcome in. TikTok, 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 situationship C. Okay. Late night snacks, texting, TikTok, TikTok. Okay. I'll do one more. You guys are fun. One more. Ready? If you get one illegal superpower, like invisibility, mind control, or teleporting into locked rooms, which one are you taking? There's no judgment. Okay, maybe just a little bit. But what would be your illegal superpower? Invisibility, mind control, or teleporting? Those are your three options. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Invisibility. Invisible for sure. Situations are too much work. I thought TikTok was candy until recently. Brian Todd. Late night snacks would be eliminated. Mind reading, mind control. I'm late. Welcome in, Wicca Wicca. Invisibility, mind reading, mind control, mind control. Boy, a lot of you were saying mind control. I would be invisible. Wouldn't it be nice to be a fly on the wall, invisible? No one could see you. Deleting Facebook. We listen, we don't judge. I'm teleporting to the Vatican archives. I love it. That is like epic. You win the internet today. Laughing out loud. That's Tic Tac. But interesting enough, there was a fight happening at the corner club that night. Yeah, somebody got thrown out. Dr. Xavier, mind reading, control, and knowing with Adam and Kaylee and Maddie. Got it. Okay, that was fun. So if you're here, hit the thumbs up button, please. We are digging deep and getting into it tonight. But first, I want to show you an interview with someone that was a special prosecutor involved in the Idaho 4. And I just want you to take a peek real quick and do this. Do this for me. Here we go. Let's take a look at this real quick. I thought this was pretty interesting, just for an update. Just for a quick update. Let me grab it. I thought I had it on file. I guess I did not. Here we go. Here we go.
Idaho News 6.
I think I need to move it forward a little bit. Here we go. Let me.
Former U.S. Attorney for the District of Idaho, Josh Hurwitz, was asked to join the prosecution team in the murder case of Brian Kohberger. Hurwitz sat down with us to talk about what if. What if the case had gone to trial? The trial never happened. When the plea deal was struck that ended the case, Josh Hurwitz said the prosecution was ready.
As a trial lawyer, right, and as we talked about, I was ready to go. You know, I signed up on the case for one reason, which was to try the case and seek justice.
But a plea deal was struck. Now the question of motive would never truly be known. Hurwitz put it this way.
This crime, like many others, does not have a rational explanation to begin with. It was an inhuman thing that this person did to 4 beautiful people and affected others as well. So trying to understand that, I think, is kind of a futile exercise, because no one that could give us some explanation that would provide any comfort would do these things in the first place. Right. So that's why I say I don't think that having the trial whether he would have testified or not would have given folks the answers they're looking for.
Their witness list that was never called. Was Brian Kohberger's sister on that list?
I think she was on the list, yes. At the same time, the list doesn't mean that we're going to call every single witness on the list. Every witness that we were going to call and that a lawyer calls during a trial is to establish certain facts. And then there's other facts that the other side might elicit from that witness. So you have to balance it out.
As far as a television movie that's in production about the murders, Hurwitz simply said, not interested.
Okay. So he said not interested in the movie. I mean, I know a lot of people are not interested in seeing an Idaho 4 movie after all the books, after all the documentaries, after all this stuff we've seen. But you know what? There's so much more to see. So much more to see. Have you all heard of what happened in Colorado just a few days ago? I don't know if you've heard it, but I'm going to share it with you. Come on. I'm waiting for the internet to work with me here. It seems like every time I've got something important to say, something happens. I'm telling you.
News.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if this works.
Coloradans' lives were saved in fucking Colorado news. So breaking fucking Colorado news. Millions of Coloradans' lives were saved thanks.
What in the
So
world?
breaking fucking Colorado news. Millions of Coloradans' lives were saved thanks to a good Samaritan who bought a random storage unit. And boy, I know this Sinaloa cartel's gonna be
Sinaloa
pissed. 'Cause see
cartel.
what had
Speaking of Josh Hurwitz,
happened was a random person bought a storage unit in Douglas County, Colorado. And when they opened this storage unit, inside was sitting black and yellow tubs loaded with fentanyl pills and powder. We're talking 12 kilos of fentanyl powder and 1.8 million pills. Everything inside was estimated to about a little over $8 million. So according to reports, this person bought the storage unit, opened it, saw what was inside, got scared and called the cops right away. When the cops showed up, they quickly ran, through information provided by the owners of the storage unit, the storage facility, where they found out exactly who owned this storage unit. Inside that storage unit was enough fentanyl to wipe out way more than just Colorado. They realized the owner was a member of the recently designated terrorist organization, the Sinaloa cartel, who have been sitting in jail somewhere in Colorado since April. So when payments for that storage unit have been unable to be made over the past months, then the owner put it up for auction, where this lucky or unlucky good Samaritan bought it and saved millions and millions of lives. Hey, the moral of the story is, once criminals are behind bars, one way or another, lives are gonna be saved. You heard me? Hug your peoples in Colorado, because they were just saved. They was just saved.
Okay. So they were just saved because they got the cartel out of the area. And remember, in this case with the Idaho 4, I'm going to bring in my intro. We're going to start talking about the Idaho 4.
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Okay, so we talked about the interesting Idaho 4 case. We've looked at evidence. There was an incident where they got a warrant to go look at some storage facilities, never answered. We never got clarification what was in it, but we did know that Brian Kohberger was not attached to those storage units. Somebody else probably had known about those storage units. And yes, this is a real story, y'all. I went and I did some digging, and of course, I found the story, which is quite interesting. There's a little bit more to this story than meets the eye, not just the amount of all the goodies that were found inside there. There are actually documents out there on the internet showing the big bust. And basically, I couldn't believe it. But the guy reporting this said that this was played out like an episode on a TV show, which I felt like we've been watching a movie for 3 years. But it's like the winning big bidder got the storage unit, and unknown to them, a million plus in counterfeit fentanyl pills and 12 kilograms of fentanyl powder, and you name it, there it was. And Douglas County Sheriff was basically reported the discovery, and the rest is history. And that is the end of that TV show. I mean, they have all kinds. This was in Colorado, indeed. And, they've got all kinds of other interesting stuff to say about this. And ultimately, it was taken off the street. And a lot of people are like, yeah, that could have killed a lot of people. It could have. And I don't know. I'm not into that realm, guys. I'm not. But from what I understand, that this can be just deadly to thousands of people. And I'm always careful when I go outside and I see an item by my car. I don't touch it. I won't even kick it. I'll just leave it. Don't touch it. If you ever see anything on the ground or anything on your car, don't touch it. I mean, we live in an era where we have to be careful about touching anything that we don't know about, whether it be $100 bill on the ground, carry gloves, touch things only with gloves. And it's kind of scary out there if you have to think about this type of, protection, this type of behavior to protect yourself out there from the criminals. I mean, there were rumors and there were scams or scares going on around the internet about a while back, powder being on certain items, and women were going out and touching them, and all of a sudden they were dropping and people were picking them up in their cars. And I don't know if you've heard about these things happening, but obviously there's all kinds of stuff out there on the internet. Just protect yourself, be careful. And yeah, do you think people would really do that to other people to put them into trafficking? I probably would agree. You never know. Anything is possible out there. So what else is possible out there? We're going to talk about TP. We're not talking about toilet paper. I know a lot of people were like, TP. We're talking about the Toyota Prius forensics today, folks. A lot of people the other day said, and I'm the one that said, Eric Gower was the only person, the Uber driver, was the only person besides those that lived in the house that saw Maddie and Kaylee last. So why did they only interview him for 20 minutes, not ask him some really detailed questions? I mean, did you ask yourself that while we were listening to the audio that I put out this weekend about Eric Gower? Does anybody remember some of the things that he said? Like, there was a text from a guy who wanted to be picked up at the alley, which was John's alley. He had to clean up the back seat for Maddie because it was a mess and all that good stuff. And people were saying, why did they detain him? Why didn't they ask? His story didn't line up after I watched the newly released information and video, which I'm going to show you. Let's watch it. Watch the minutes go by. I don't know why this time is not correct, But let's watch this video together. Watch the time, watch the clock, how many minutes doesn't add up to what he said. And I'm going to get to the good stuff after this video. Here he comes. It says 9:48. He said he waited a minute. Now, the next screen is going to show you the girls waiting. You're going to see some individual. There's no sound to this. And it's going to start the countdown. I don't know why they blur people out. Now watch this entire thing. It started at 9:48. They were a couple numbers off. Movie time. Eric started to lose his memory during the interview. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I know him, but I don't know him. Now it's going to be a couple minutes. We're going to watch this all the way through. Maddie's having a good time. They start talking. We see hoodie guy in the back. That's Jack Showalter. He said they also didn't pay. And what was the mess? A noodle on his seat? Wait, this video has been verified. I don't know who released this. It's not been released by any official police nor ISP. This was just a video. The wife or former, yeah, I think she did work at Moscow Police Department. We get fined for a mess on seats here. Ooh, really? On Uber? Okay, so they are waiting. They're going to grab their meal. I don't know the verified video. I don't know where it came from. But I'm just showing you an example before we get into the forensic side of this. And it's just for a few minutes. And then other people start walking into the view of the camera. I don't know who the people are in all black all the way up against the windows. You guys can see that. And then you'll see them run to the car. And then, yeah, I don't think the timeline is right either, so I don't know why it says the time that it says. I don't know where this information came from, but that was the time that they were at the grub truck. However, remember one thing. I've got the original stats from Twitch that have not been, well, they've been removed, but I have the original video. I have the original stats and the original time that Joe said at 2:06 after they left. There they leave. It's almost been 5 minutes, just about a little bit under 5 minutes. And then he leaves and Showalter goes the other way. Now, what exactly did the forensics document say about the Toyota Prius? Because a lot of people were screaming, wait, they didn't detain this guy. They didn't question him any further. But you know what? They did do some testing on his car. Y'all, I'm going to show you the exact document. And this blows my mind because this is one of the missing pieces to the puzzle that were not put out right in front of us. It's right here in this document. The 2011 Toyota Prius. Now, it says, and I'm going to even tell you the actual color of it. On 11/18 at approximately 7:34 Pacific Standard Time, FS, that's the Forensic Services, Hogan, and Barbie arrived at blank to process a vehicle. Busted. Okay. They were accompanied by Detective Tolson, ISP D1, and Detective Lehman. That's 4 individuals, 4 professionals that are now going to look at this vehicle. Do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up now. I always forget to tell you, do it now. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Yes, I have said that these girls were surveillanced all night long. All night long. Okay. This vehicle is a 2011 gray colored Toyota Prius. So remember when I told you that it looked like somebody had been altering that video and making it look black? It's actually gray, folks. All right. And it says that the vehicle was located in a large bay, and Hogan photographed the vehicle for overall location, identification, and condition. Hogan and Barbie searched the vehicle. There were no significant findings. They cleared the scene at 8:44. So they were there from 7:34, 8, an hour. They transferred digital images to Talbot on the 19th at approximately 8:38 Pacific Standard Time. Color is MGM, magnetic gray metallic. Okay, perfect. So then they go to the apartment, they go to the house, and they do some other testing at apartment 1. And this was very interesting. So I'll get into this one later. I want to continue with the actual Prius. What testing did they do on the Prius? Can anyone take a guess? What kind of testing did they do? They did a lot of testing. This is the interesting part. They did some. They didn't find anything. They said they collected 10 things: hair, cigarette butt, a possible note. Where did it go? Dang it. I just hit the wrong thing. Dang it. I hate when that happens. Boop, boop, be doo. Hold on. All right, here it is. They took 59 images. They did photography. They did presumptive blood testing too. And they also did biological stain items too. Other tests performed? None. 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 The guy cleaned up something. He admitted it. 1 vehicle's processed. Other tests performed? No. Sketch diagram? No. ALS exam? No. They put possible hand, face, finger marks. And I don't know why they said router and modem. Does a car have a router and a modem? I don't know about this, folks, but this doesn't give us enough information in regards to this. But they did check his car. They did do some investigation. Kind of odd that they didn't do any more. Those categories, everyone, those categories should say yes. Did he have that in his car? I don't know. It says Prius, other types of evidence, hair, cigarette butt, paper. Now, I don't know if this is mismarked, mislabeled, but it is actually, they also clump it. I don't want to say clump it, but they added in to some other things that they were doing in between here and at the 1122 Moscow. Okay. So they put it all together in this one document, just like another document that I told you they didn't separate it. And they probably did that for a reason, for confusion, in my humble opinion. But when you look at what else they tested and what else they found, I mean, some of this stuff in these markers, okay, we'll go over the next part that I said I'd come back to. So in the evidence that the state was going to give, that they finally gave to the defense at the last minute, there are markers that coincide with the forensic details in regards to the crime scene and other places. So we'll just do a live dig real quick, and we'll go back and we'll look at this marker and see if this marker comes up. Marker Q. Let's see what we can find. There are so many markers. And someone tried to gaslight me earlier in a comment and told me that these labs and labels are mislabeled. They're mismarked. And if this case is that bad that these are mismarked and mislabeled, Houston, we have a massive problem. Because remember that furry chair in the second floor of Xana's bedroom? They said that it had blood on it. Okay. Well, that was marker U, and that indeed was someone's blood in marker U. Do you think we'll find out who it was? Don't know. But just like I said, marker Q was the exterior of the west bedroom door. Did they ever tell us what marker Q was? No. They don't even reference an MPD existing document like the other markers or the other lab items were. I mean, there was all kinds of lab items. Marker U up close, marker U up close. And one of the things that I saw was interesting, these markers. They're all over the place. But the lab items are a little bit more interesting than the markers. Some of these markers, I don't know why they used marker 1, 2, and 3 in 3 different locations, but never connected the dots with what markers were what. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But some of the interesting things in here, obviously, I caught was the Toyota Prius. They did take the car and test it. Again, that's another missing piece, because we do see in this document right here, Prius rear, they took pictures. They're in the evidence file. Okay. They took the text messages with Kaylee. But here's what they don't show us. And this is why I say lots of documents are in fact missing. Missing, discarded. And if you heard about the evidence we talked about today, then guess what? Guess what? There's probably thousands or hundreds to thousands of pages still missing that we don't know. Do you think that they brought Eric Gower back in to question him? I'm sure they did. Did they get a warrant to search his car unless he said, okay, go ahead and search my car? We never see any of that. We never see any of that in any of the ISP documents nor the MPD documents. Why? Because I feel, in my humble opinion, Eric Gower is one of those individuals that are being protected, just like some other people, in my humble opinion, that are being protected in this case. What do you think about that? Is that even possible? Could that be? I mean, we talked about missing evidence this morning. We talked about the missing exclusion of evidence. This Toyota Prius was looked at, but there's no corroborating documents that go along with it. None. So we can always go back to DNA evidence. DNA doesn't lie. People lie. So let's look up some of these lab items and see what we can find. Now, I will say, someone was trying to gaslight me about lab item 4. I mean, you could try to do that all day long, right? Or 3. Lab item 3 or lab item 4. But it clearly tells us whose DNA, what swab it was. Lab item 1 was John Showalter. Lab item 1. They've never denied it. It's always been there. It's just wild when you start to line these lab items up with the true documents with the state's exhibit. I mean, look at lab item 4 here. Showalter's prints. So lab item 1 and lab item 4 go with Showalter. And what does lab item 4 say here? King Road blood swab, 3rd floor bedroom door, lab item 4. Why was his blood there? MPD item 41. MPD item 41. Let's see if item 41 shows up in this forensics document. Because it does say lab item 4. I think they stopped this investigation. I think they stopped. And I think I have an idea of why they stopped. I mean, what do you do when people lawyer up? There's nowhere else this case could go. It would have been a cold case if they didn't blame it on someone else, in my humble opinion. I mean, you can go and you can match these up yourself. You can go and see these lab items. I mean, anybody can go and match them up. I've already given you the 3 documents you need to do. Has anybody ventured off to do it? I mean, let's do this. Let's do this one together real quick. So you see this one, MPD item 33, blood swab, living room, smear on table. So let's go to MPD and let's see what item 33 was. Let's see if it's in here. Item 33. Item 33 happens to be, yes, a blood swab. There it is. I've been marking off every single one I've matched up. So that would be lab item 76. Let's go to lab item 76. Let's see what item 76 is. Item 76, go to the forensic document and let's see what it says. Let's see what kind of results we get. It is simple. Could have been anyone. Item 76 was a submitted swab from the living room table. Let's see if there was any outcome on item 76. Let's see what the forensic documents say. Item 76, submitted swab from living room table. Analysis. Positive for blood? Yes, right here, positive. All right. I don't know. It was item 33 that was labeled 33. So MPD did, I just confirmed it was a blood swab. Did they give us what it was? Did they tell us anything more? No, that was it. That was it. But that was the only item 33 in this whole document. Now, some of these are redacted because they know the individual. They know the name. They've put it on there. Let's look at this one. Here's a result from 3rd floor, item 77. So let's go to here and find item 77. That would be the 3rd floor, edge of door, lab item 77. Who did they say that was? They didn't say. Lab item 77. I mean, anybody can go and match these up, but here's the point. There are answers in this document. You just have to match them up. Here's another one, blood swab 30. Let's go and look and see what blood swab 30 is. Let's see if we can find 30. 73, blood swab, 30, 30, 30. Physical evidence, 52. Fingerprints, 30. Item 10, 14, 30. 30 was stain swab from handrail, first and second floor. Item 30, did it tell us the results of 30? Yep, blood swab, 1/3 part of, yep, positive for blood. We know it was blood. Did they tell us who it was? Nope. Nope. Some of these say whose they are. Some of them don't. Because if you look at this, I'm just going to pick one out. Let's see what we can find. Kenneth Anderson. I don't even know who that is. I did find a Kevin Anderson, though. Look, I found this guy. If this is the guy, controlled substance possession in Latah County. He's on probation, released to supervision in 2023. He's 20 years old, in community, Latah County. Now, I don't know if this is the same guy, but I don't know where they got this guy's name or who he's related to or how he's related to this case. This is all speculation that this could be who they said. Speculation only. If this is the guy, then this could possibly be him. But I'm going to go into iCourt and I'm going to see exactly what he was charged with. We know a little bit, but I'm going to see exactly what this was. We've got a case number here. Anderson Kenneth. And let's see. Let's see what it tells me. He's 20, so he had to have been born in 2000. Kenneth Anderson in Latah County. Oh, this is going to be a hard one. You don't have any idea how many people are in Latah County by the name of Kenneth Anderson. Shoot. It's not a very unusual name. Looks like it's a pretty common name, but I will find them. Hold on. Kenneth Anderson. His middle initial is C. Let's see if I can find it by that. Kenneth Anderson. Where are you? Bonneville. Gooding. Oh, Latah. Here we go. Infraction. Wrong birth date, though. Let me see what this court case is. Let me see. What did it end in? 360. 23,360. 23,360. Here it is. All right. Here's the details on this case. State of Idaho, Judge John, possession, controlled, felony, pleaded not guilty, found, took a plea deal, guilty on a plea agreement of a felony, sentenced to 30 days discretionary county jail, 1 year, 2 years, intermediate determinate, and spent 2 days in jail, credit for time served July 25th, 2023, felony probation, substance mental health treatment counseling, gain active, and was released on his own recognizance. Let's just see what happened. Arraignment, court, plea agreement, order, returning exhibit, sentencing, case closed, judgment, conviction of probation, let out, motion, granting leave to withdraw, case closed. That is exactly what happened to that guy. Interesting. So, he was in this state's exhibit. I don't even know who Kenneth Anderson was. He was just listed in the state's exhibit. I mean, lab item 44 is Mason Barstow. Let's go see what lab item 44 says. What does it have next to it? MPD 284. MPD 284. Let's see what they logged it in as. 284. Let's just see. 284. Swab B. Okay, that's Barstow. I can't highlight it because it won't let me, but it's right there in the middle of the screen. And then let's go back and look at item lab 44 and see where that was tested. Item 44. I'm sure nothing came of it. Let's just see if it'll search it. Item 44. I just missed it. 20 minutes. I'll rewind. Yeah, watch it later. Does the dates align with MB's arrest? One of the other people they looked at. Item 44 was a DNA swab, and there's 3 results. We know that that was Mason Barstow. Evidence tape. Yes, Manila. It was a DNA swab. We know that. We just read it. And it doesn't say anything about the results of item 44. And I can probably assume it was negative, or else they would have charged an individual, hopefully, if they were related. So there is no evidence, there's no conclusion to the evidence of the forensics that were submitted. And on some of these, they say no testing requested, which blows my mind. Absolutely. So when you get to the crossroads, when there's no more, after you go through all these matching labs, the only person that keeps coming up is lab item 1. They didn't even redact his name from some of these records, folks. Didn't even redact it. Why do you think that is? I mean, I looked at this lab item 48. Nothing, no further in the forensic files. Lab item 48, nothing. I mean, what do? It points to possibly 2 people, maybe 3. I did find something that I hesitated on sharing, but anybody going through these will figure it out. They'll find it, and they'll be like, no way, no way. I was shocked. I mean, honestly, there is a lot of stuff in here that you can probably line it up. There's a couple of things that don't make sense. And I think it was meant for us to not be able to make sense, in my humble opinion. Because they don't want us to know, but the evidence is still here. The evidence of an innocent person sitting in jail, and unfortunately, no one is doing anything about it. There's only so many letters I can write. There's only so many calls that I can make. There's only so much that we can do until someone finally does something about it. You think the media is going to help? No. Do you think some big shot lawyer is going to step in and go up against Idaho and their system? I already called Ann Taylor's office a while back and said, we need a reference for an appellate attorney. She can't give a reference. She can't recommend anyone. Yes, she is a defense attorney, but she cannot do the appeals. So who is going to be the superhero that steps up and steps out and says, we'll do this? we will get justice served. I mean, this could be any single one of us. And that's a scary thought at the end of the day. Because honestly, let me ask you. I want you to type a 1 if you think the professionals did their job. And I want you to put a 2 for no, they didn't do their job. Remember, Moscow was the lead on this case. It was Bill Thompson's responsibility to get this right. His job to go and prosecute based on evidence. And remember, folks, most of this evidence was done way before December 5th when they put Brian Kohberger's name on everything. Everything. Look at the case names in this. Look at all the people they were testing in this case. They tested DNA left and right. They had the answers to this DNA on November 22nd. Remember, Othram was bragging about, oh, we found it. Look at all these names, case names, all these swabs that were submitted. This is a terrible misinjustice. It wasn't unknown DNA. They knew. They knew. All of them knew. Whoever looked at these reports and signed off, they knew. And look at all this redacted stuff. All this redacted DNA. All of this. Someone's playing games with us. Someone's playing games in Idaho. And I'm sure they don't want this to get out. But you know what? We're still here. We're still looking. We're still sharing. And we're still showing everyone else what's here. It is now time for someone to break down, admit it, admit what they did. Someone has to speak out. They knew way before the 5th all this DNA. See these dates? The 16th, the 21st, the 28th, and the 5th. The 5th is when Kohberger's name starts popping up everywhere. They knew. Mastoff is an amazing attorney. Yes, she can file an appeals. Yes, she has fought the death penalty. Yes, she has won many appeals. Mastoff is Miss M. That's what I call her. There is no one that's untouchable in our justice system. And I'm sure that we're seeing that being played out on the stage right now. There is no one that is untouchable. If you think that people with money and power are untouchable, no, they're not. They are not untouchable. Because you know what? It always catches up with them. It always catches up with you. The corruption, the drugs, the trafficking, the lies, it's going to catch up. It eventually does. And honestly, Idaho needs to be put on the map, in my humble opinion. If you commit a crime, you do the time. And that's how I feel about that. What do you feel? Do you think that if someone, blame a broken fridge, right? Blame a broken fridge. Hey, Kohberger worked at SEL. Did they know? I don't know. Did they know each other? Have no idea. No idea whatsoever. No idea. I mean, look at all the corruption in the headlines today. I don't usually watch the news, mainstream news. Don't usually watch it. But look at all the corruption. But you better have intention. Look at 20, 30 years of Moscow, Latah County area. All the cases that Bill Thompson has even participated in. Look at the case without a body that he was able to prosecute and win. I mean, isn't that what the G's are screaming about? Bill Thompson got a conviction without a body. Did he do his due diligence in the Idaho 4? I mean, think of his track record. Think of his plea deals. I mean, you can go back in the repository and look at all the plea deals. You can look at Bill Thompson's record. You can go back and you can look at every single one of them. Who do you think is going to be the new district attorney in Latah County? Who do you think that will be? Bad Santa. Bad Santa. Speaking of bad Santa, there was a controversial deal, obviously, that he made. Yeah, I have a feeling. There's a controversial deal that he made, obviously, with Brian Kohberger. But if you dig a little deeper, there's so much more to see. How many other cases have been prosecuted in his 30 years that could possibly totally screw up the justice system in Latah County? Can you imagine how much that would need to be undone? They're never going to admit any wrongdoing. Can Bill Thompson be prosecuted for his wrongdoing in the Idaho 4? I mean, he did get away with the Brady hearing, the Brady violation. Judge threw it out. Judge threw it out. And if you heard, I covered this case before. Brian Walsh, he admitted to guilt right before trial. I've covered this before. Was that a strategic move? Was it a strategic move like Kohberger took the plea deal? I think so. I think it's all a game. It's like chess. They got to figure out what they're going to do. So Brian Walsh did plead guilty to disposing his wife's body just an hour ago. I don't know if you remember the case. I've shared it a couple of weeks ago. You know, all the other stuff was circumstantial, but now he said that he disposed his wife's body and he took a plea deal to the lesser charges, pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. I still can't believe this. I mean, I almost threw up in my mouth when, you know, going in. I had a feeling in my gut that maybe he did it. But to stand up and now he won't have to face some of those charges in the trial, I wonder how this is going to work out. So under mass law, he can't plead guilty to first-degree murder. He would have to change course and agree to a plead guilty to a lesser homicide charge like second degree or voluntary manslaughter, which could allow the possibility of parole. So this had to have been some legal strategy at the last minute. People are outraged. And this is how some people get away with murder. Not only was he facing murder charges, but he had pleaded guilty to fraud. Remember, he got caught in some type of scheme to sell portraits or pictures, paintings that were worth millions of dollars. Yeah, he was also guilty of that. Now, don't get me wrong, his defense attorney is smart. But this is how people get away with murder. He pled guilty to misleading the police in the improper conveyance or illegal disposal of a human body. I mean, he never admitted what happened. He should have been able to give a proffer, basically explaining what happened, where her remains are. Some people, I just can't. Where do we go from here? How do we help Kohberger? Again, sign the petition. Justice for FOURALL. Share a video. Talk about it. Bring it up in your circles. Do you think innocent people should go to jail for life? Do you think innocent people should be framed? Do you think innocent people should take plea deals? Talk about it in your public circles, your friend groups. If you're that person that sparks interesting conversation, these are the things that we should be talking about. And you know what? I can see Brian Kohberger doing exactly this once he is officially exonerated. I came across this yesterday or the day before, and I said, man, this would be perfect to talk about. This guy is an ex-hacker. Oh, is it up on the screen? Hold on. This guy is an ex-hacker, and he worked with the Secret Service, and he says the world's biggest threat isn't human anymore. It's basically deep fake number one is the beginning of the problem. He made millions committing identity theft for living before joining the Secret Service. He was a consultant. Can you believe this? He offers 6 ways to protect against fraud, including freezing your credit and setting up alerts. He spent over a decade breaking into systems, stealing identities, selling stolen credit cards on the dark web. He stole millions of dollars, making $100,000 a month. Y'all, just crazy. Then he worked as a Secret Service private company consultant to stop the kind of crimes that he was perpetrating. Can you believe this? He said it was like addicting. It was impossible to stop. And cybercrime is becoming the most increasingly organized problem. It is a problem. The next wave of cybercrime will come from entire operations powered by AI, where machines write the scams, fake the evidence, and even talk to the victims in real time. That is some scary stuff. He says deepfake is just the first problem. Scam farms will run like corporations. I can see it now. The race to AI is crazy. Now Bezos has just thrown his hat in there. He said fraudsters and scam farms are becoming the new normal. The rise of synthetic identities. Automation is inviting fraud, identity fraud. There's 6 practical steps he talks about. If you want to look at this link, I'll drop it in the chat. It was on MSM, but this guy is pretty intense. Where'd it go? Shoot. Where did I send that to? Hold on a minute. Dang it. I was going to drop it in the chat and it just fell out. So I've got this. If you guys ever want to read this, I'll send it back. Or you can look it up. But this guy says that cyber crime, identity theft, AI will be our human downfall for theft. It's wild. I could so see Kohberger working with an agency and trying to fine tune finding criminals that do these types of crimes. It's wild, folks. So do me a favor. Thanks for joining me today. Hit that thumbs button on the way out. I will always have more information for you in regards to this case. We're going to be seeing some new documents drop hopefully this week or next week. And until then, stay safe on the streets out there. Be well. Yeah, Phoenix Oracle would be the company Brian would apply to. Hey, you know what? I had this crazy theory. I had this freaking crazy theory a few weeks ago when we were told that Trump was building some type of huge reception hall, Taj Mahal, who knows, on the East Wing. I told my husband, he's not going to rebuild anything there. He's taken the White House down. Guys, guess what was announced the other day? They're not building anything. Didn't I call that one like the hologram for CK? Yeah, it gets crazier as you look into things, folks. But you know what? Be well out there. Drop a lot of love. Hit that thumbs up button and share this with someone. Until next time, be well.
Listen close, we rise up from the ashes, digging for the truth, breaking old habits. We marching with the nesters, they laid the foundation, passed down revelation, sparked our motivation in a world of facades. We peeling back the layers. Truth is the weapon that cuts through all the fakers. Phonets in our chest, reborn from deception. Eyes wide open, no room for misdirection. Every step we take, we honor the connection between past and present, forging our resurrection. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. We cultivate vision, planting awareness, challenge the narrative, break out of the harness, digging deep for knowledge, unearthing the hidden. Our minds are the soil where the future is written, no longer confined by the scripts they prescribe. We write our own story, let the real one subscribe. One voice becomes many, together we rally. Freedom's not a concept, it's a move and a tally. Case, we break the cage. Dog by dog, we shift the stage. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again.
watch the new world breathe.